We want them to be satisfied and with their care. And it gives better coordination, and over time controls cost. And I say that with the fact that it does have to be a quality provider who does not, I'm going to play in a few moments about some of the variations in care that we saw as a payer. And, we wanted people to have hospice care longer. And what we found as we were going through the demonstration, if a member had palliative care prior to going into hospice care, there were fewer crashes to hospice. So, in other words, even if you just had a short, 2 or 3 or a month or 2 or 3 palliative care visits, and you had the conversation about what the patients wanted in terms of their end-of-life care, and were subsequently referred to a hospice, they had a longer length of stay in hospice than those who did not have access to palliative care. So again, fewer crashes into, hospice care, because we all know that if you're in for 7 days or less, or even, less than 30 days, you really can't fully appreciate, the benefit as it was designed.
Kevin, there's a follow-up question. Is there a preferred length of stay that Humana is looking for? Maybe specific average length of stay, median length of stay. So maybe rephrasing, is there an optimal there, that the Goldilocks zone, not too long, not too short?
I'll quickly highlight when we're looking about network selection, believe it or not, Humana, I can speak, and again, my disclaimer, I'm coming purely in my Humana shoes, and I'm coming from the provider perspective because I've been there. I was there, as that provider for 28 years in hospice, and then prior to that in the acute care setting. So we do value a good quality provider, and I speak here in terms of hospice and palliative care, but I think you can take this across any provider type, but we want to know that you've got good CAP scores, that you've got a good base market share in your area, because that equates to us, that you typically that you have a good reputation. We're looking for your care index score. Ownership status is important to us, and you might think, proprietary, and it's actually quite the opposite. We found that we got much better care and results from our nonprofit hospice providers. So, again, we look at a number of different factors when we think about choosing a provider. In terms of the hospice demonstration, we sought out the providers. We didn't let them come. Some came to us and asked, but we went through, we looked at the geography, we pulled all of this data, and we broke it out into red, green, yellow status. And if you were a red provider, we didn't want to talk to you. So again, historical value, historical quality, all of that, getting that under your belt is really puts you in a strong position when you go to talk to folks about contracts.
And I would surmise, Kevin, if you had a family of those people working on that would that be even more attractive to you?
Oh, of course, because and the way you're set up in particular, we've got one contract, and we don't have to contract with 20 providers.